Hi, Leela.
Hi, Sam. Yeah, it's great to be here again. Um, I'm over here in Canada and joining you, and yeah, you're over in the beautiful warm Thailand, and um, we're going to do another little talk.
Yes, I'm in Thailand. Uh, I enjoy these talks because they are very healing for me. And I know that from the comments that a lot of people are appreciate them also. So
Definitely, I have the same thing happening with a lot of my friends too, and it's just a wonderful thing to be able to share. And the music is just pouring out of me, so that's pretty much a blessing.
it's a miracle, really, because
It really is.
it's really that energy of love, which is that creative energy that flows. And that's what we're going to talk about this time as masculine and feminine energies, or
Mhm.
male and the female. And I'm going to take it all the way back to Adam and Eve in the garden. So
Okay.
this will be a fun one.
All right.
Uh, so the masculine and the feminine energies are two energies that are have never been separate. So we've in this world, we've learned to separate those two energies. And even though they can't be separated, the attempt to separate or pretend that they're separate by taking one form and calling it masculine and another form and calling it feminine has created an imbalance. Uh, the reason for that is because the feminine energy has been diminished in this state that we live in called the world. And the diminishing of that feminine energy started clear back at the very beginning of the world. And that started in that in the book of Genesis, it talks about Adam and Eve. And that is taken literally by a lot of people in religions, but it's not a literal, it's a story of what happened in the spiritual realm. It's an analogy
Mhm.
because Adam always had the feminine energy called Eve within him, but he had suppressed that energy until he came to the point where he's like, where is my where is that part of me? I don't have the feminine energy. And then the mind of God says, yes, you do. Here it is. And that was portrayed in the way that God took a rib out of Adam. And that was saying, here's your energy. You've always had this feminine within you. So then Adam, which is a representation of the mind that created this world, the egoic mind. Okay.
Mhm.
That egoic mind that created the idea of separation and contraction and fear and judgment and all of those things came through the idea that Adam and Eve were separate, and they never were. So each one of us are created with the same energies of male and female, or masculine and feminine. So, what's going on in the world right now is the feminine energy is being brought up in equality with the male energy because they are equal. They've always been equal. And the idea that the feminine energy is less than has always caused a great amount of division and conflict in the world. And I was telling you earlier, it's like if you look around the world and you see the communities where um, they still live in those ancient ways, like the Bible
Primitive.
ways, they put down the feminine energy. In those
Yes.
countries, you always see a great amount of conflict in those energies, in those countries, because the conflict comes from the idea that male and female are separate and somehow male is better than the female. And in fact, they even say, well, the man should own the woman, basically, in a lot of those religions, of those ancient religions. And that idea is being healed in this world now, but not everyone is participating in that healing. But there's enough people participating where the shift is actually taking place. And the shift that's taking place is also causing a division between those that want to keep choosing the fear or the division between male and female, and those that want to reconnect or make the two one again. Okay. And that's talked about in all forms of religion that bring peace to this world.
Yeah.
And so the old way, the old covenant, isn't about that. And that's why anything that's being taught that isn't about making one again is not love. And it shouldn't be regarded as coming from the supreme eternal creator of us all. In other words, our higher mind or the source. But it should be realized that that part that's teaching division is the small part of the mind that's being healed in this world now. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The Holy Spirit started showing me this years ago, and each person has both energies in them. So there's a representation of the energies that we see manifest in this world. And one of the biggest forms of that representation is money and
Yeah.
sex. Two things that people most desire, but are most forbidden to want or desire. And wonder why. What's this idea that we're so forbidden to desire these things? Comes from that idea of separation. They need to be separated. And there's all of these rules around coming back together. Well, we're here to throw those rules out the window because those rules were created by the small mind that wants to keep things separate. So another way to see those energies, and they're equal, by the way, is the energy of grace and power. Grace
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
or nurturing and support. Okay.
Yeah.
Nurturing being the feminine, support being the masculine, grace being the feminine, power
Grace.
being the masculine.
Mhm.
Also, um, creativity. Yeah.
Creativity.
Creativity.
Mhm.
Creativity is something that happens naturally without any effort whenever the support and the creativity, the support and the grace come together.
Together.
There's no separation. And there's a flow that happens where creation just happens. There's no effort. And in reality, in creation, there is no effort.
No.
The effort comes from the separation and the fear. We have to effort through and make things happen. And reality in heaven, which is inside of us, and everyone knows that. In that place, whenever it's healed and becomes one again, manifestation of these
Mhm.
creations happen without any effort at all. So that's what's transpiring in our world today. And so you see little tiny aspects of that happening from the idea of the internet. Okay, it's reconnecting everyone back together again around the world. And we think,
Mhm.
oh, this is just some technology we're using, but it's actually a manifestation of the higher mind reconnecting everyone. It's a blessing. So all of the changes that are happening in this world are for our awakening. The internet, the cell phones, all of these things are being used as tools for healing. Yes, the fearful minds are still using them for their own purposes against healing, but that's
Mhm.
not going to work. It's not going to overcome the healing wave that we've created is so powerful right now. And if you tune in, you can really, really feel it. You can feel this wave. We are joining with the Earth's energy, and the Earth is a feminine energy because
Yeah.
we all come from the dust of the
The
ground,
earth.
the Earth.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
she has given us this nurturing, and the sun is the masculine energy. It's the power. It's what brings things alive. The
Mhm.
earth,
Mhm.
you plant a seed in the earth and it sprouts, and the sun gives it the
So
power of
that's the life
life,
energy.
you know?
Yeah.
So all of these are symbols of reality.
Mhm.
All of these things are symbols. And so as we awaken, there's no way at this point to reverse the shift of awakening right now. This has never happened ever before to this degree where there's no turning back now. We're on the rise, and
Mhm.
there's no way to stop it at this point. So it's about celebrating now and enjoying that energy and becoming one again with yourself.
Mhm.
The feminine energy is the strongest representation of that feminine energy is brought through by those who have chosen to come to this world, to this energy field called the world, and heal it as the feminine form of that energy that take the shape of a female body.
Mhm.
So the more healing comes, the more female teachers, I mean, are so amazing in their teachings because they've been able to cultivate that oneness, and their teachings are just, beautiful. And the same thing with the male teachers that have cultivated their feminine side can also
Exactly.
have that same power. It's not about the shape of the body, it's about what we've done inside. So I've always encouraged this going and doing this work of healing yourself and not paying attention to these communities that require this or require that. Everyone knows innately once they get to a certain level to listen to the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit will guide you through the process of becoming one again. Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, that's yes, definitely. Well, I can feel the feminine energy myself because today I was composing this piece of music for this video and it just completely flowed. And so I'm immersed. I can feel it in that whole vibrational energy of music and each note and just the feelings. So I'm being, I feel more in my feminine nature at the moment.
Do you also feel the support behind that
Mhm.
feminine energy? Because
Oh, yeah, yeah, I do.
that's also the masculine energy.
I feel that as well. Yeah, I do. Oh, for sure. Like to have them both balanced. But this, yeah, the piece of music it's gonna be beautiful and it's gonna just match everything that we're talking about perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a link to your specific piece of music that you've designed for this topic in the video, in the comment underneath the video.
Oh, that would be great.
I'm also going
Thank
to
you.
yeah, I'm also going to put a link to my YouTube website, which is entitled Shanti Cristo.
Mhm.
Those encapsulate all of the teachings from Jeshua that have been channeled through JM. that I have learned from.
Hmm.
And whenever I say learn, really, there is no teacher or student. We're simply helping each other to remember what we already know because we
Yeah.
came from a place of complete knowledge. And so these teachings are just reminders to ourselves of who we are. That's all this is.